Recording in progress. That's what she
Okay,
said.
let's get it. I was just saying, no, like celebrities are just kind of like just get to the point where just like they're out of touch. You know, most of the things they say on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, it's like you could tell when they're talking. It's like this person has no fucking clue about what it's like to be like a normal person. And so
Yeah.
all these YouTubers, these influencers coming in, because a lot of these dudes were nobodies, and then they just started talking shit on the internet.
Yeah.
It just like it happened like that. It happened organically into a way they didn't have to go to a Diddy party or like go to a freak off and sell their soul for a
Yeah. Oh,
like,
yeah. This was a way to bypass the Hollywood thing to become famous.
Yeah.
Like Mr. Beast, for example.
Absolutely. Perfect example of that.
Yeah.
I mean, it goes on and on, dude. You could think, I mean, Drewski is a good example of that. Like, even though I'm not the biggest fan of Drewski, he's made his living off of just talking shit. He's not even that smart of a guy. No shade on Drewski. He's funny. He doesn't have a lot to say about certain subjects. All he has to say is just shit talk. Just plainly just talking shit, roasting people, and like
like high school stuff that would be interesting to like what high schoolers do, you know, like in the cafeteria talking shit and making fun of this one kid, trashing on him, ragging on him, and all the other kids are laughing. They're like, yeah, this guy's cool, he's making fun of this other kid and making that kid feel like shit about himself
just for no reason.
No reason. So he's cool and awesome, so we should just glorify this guy.
If you look at his demographic, that's mostly what it is. It's just, you know, just kind of just high school kids and stuff. So just kids, you know, like I don't necessarily want to make content for that because I'm not a kid anymore, dude. I'm in my 30s now, so I want to make stuff that I don't know, dude. There's a lot of people who think the same way we do and just think about the same things we do in the same way that we do, talk about the same shit, and so it will validate those confirmation bias in a good way, like in a good way.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, well, it's much like you said. A lot of us are thinking this way. We all have a lot of like-minded, positive, you know, like-minded thinking. So, but I don't think we share it enough with each other. That we think like-minded enough.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of social conformities that keep people, they're scared to go outside of the norm because they don't want to lose their job, because they've been conditioned to just fall in line. There's a lot of most people just, well, they're trying to make ends meet or survive, which saddens me because I know that they don't have to live in that survival mode. They could thrive if they wanted to, but they've been conditioned through, you know, the social hierarchy to stay at the bottom. And so to think a certain way, to think that they are like unworthy of certain things. So, or they don't, it's the idea of abnormal amounts of success is looked at as
happiness.
Well, unobtainable by the majority.
Or or like if you're not happy, that will make you happy.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily true because there's people who kill themselves every day that have billions, millions of dollars. So
there's a lot of misinformation out there. I see a lot of misinformation about, you know, how to be a better content creator, how to get your videos to become viral. And I see people out here just lying to people. And honestly, I see a lot of those videos, and a lot of them, I'm like, this is kind of a joke. It's a joke. Their video is a joke because they're the ones that are making the video are laughing because their video about how to become viral has now gone viral.
Doing that number, dude. Just like laughing behind the side.
Yes, and they're making money off of it, and it's like, okay, well that needs to come to an end.
Yeah, you're pandering to an audience that you know is dumb. You know, they can't think for themselves.
Well, an audience, it's very sick because you're pandering to an audience, but you're not just pandering, but you're also looking to extort the views. So you're looking to make money. So you're looking to profit off of a low emotion of people just wanting validation
from people that probably don't have the money to give in the first place.
Well, no, it's people's. What it is they're telling, like, they're talking. because since I started making content, my algorithm has been showing me a lot of videos from people who are like, "Yo, this is how you need to get your channel to blow up. Your channel's not blowing up because you're doing this and that." And it's like all of them are saying that uh that the other person is wrong, that the other person that is trying to tell you how to do it, they're wrong, and that their way's better, my way's better.
It's
And then
arbitrary. It's
yeah,
arbitrary.
yeah, it's a bunch of that, and it's repetitive.
Yeah.
And the joke is and why they're laughing is because they're blowing up and becoming viral, telling other people why they're not becoming viral
When in
and
reality,
how to become viral. And when reality, whatever they're telling them is not even real. Because the truth is, if you want to go viral, is you need to be interesting.
dude, they were in the right place at the right time and they said the right thing. So, and then just so happens a lot of people seen that shit.
I mean, the concept is they have a similar concept,
Yeah.
but the actual ideology of the Akashic records doesn't come from the Egyptians. It comes from actually this Russian woman.
But
I learned.
but check this shit out. You think you can like lock into some Egyptian memories in that way?
Yeah, actually, so they have a thing called what they call Egyptian star seeds,
Yeah.
and it's just certain people who have a spiritual and connection with like ancient times. They're just connected to, I guess, that consciousness of the ancient knowledge and stuff. So it's just kind of
Yeah.
like written in the DNA and their genetic code and their DNA code.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's nothing they chose. It's nothing that makes people special. It's nothing no one did to make themselves special. They were just born that way.
Yeah. It just is.
Against their will, even. Like, I mean, or I mean, it just inhabits in the body, and then it's just a genetic code that just kind of grows over time. And a lot of people don't ever make sense of it. And then some people learn to remember who they are, and then some people don't.
Dog, I feel like that's why like I don't know, certain times like when I've certain times in the past when I've been under influence of certain substances, I've I went to go look at a mirror at a certain instance, dude, and I just seen basically all of all of my immediate family that I could recognize, and then I seen a lot of what I couldn't recognize, like a bunch of faces, like amalgamation of different faces. Dude, I was off. I was out,
Yeah.
and so I just seen like, and I just had this feeling like I recognized them, even though I didn't recognize them. I had this familiarity with them, and I was like, dude, that has to be like my past ancestors or something like that. There has to be some connection with that and the people before me. I just had that feeling. So I don't
Well,
know.
yeah. I'm 100% positive that you have a direct connection to all of that.
Yeah,
That does, and excuse me, I'd refer to it as like the Akashic records or the collective
but
consciousness. Or there's another psychologist named Carl Jung who,
oh
um,
yeah,
yeah, so he has the what he calls the collective unconscious. You know what I mean? And
it's
but
where we dream. When we dream, we all
yeah.
of sorts. Maybe we. That's why I believe in astral projection because I feel like when we dream, that's essentially obviously what we do. Like because I've been in different situations and I 100% believe with those dreams that feel so real. It's like you 100% went to another realm of existence.
Oh,
Like
100%,
not
yeah.
out of there physically, maybe, but like you were there and
Energetically, I guess,
yeah,
spiritually, like your
for
consciousness was. Because what is your consciousness?
exactly who knows? I mean, we don't know, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, hey,
Because
dude, with hire people to astral project to find out shit about like communists in different countries and stuff like weird. Uh,
oh yeah, the CIA did that. They definitely did.
yeah, they
There's
would
a
hire astral projectors.
that was what like the that was yeah. They did those experiments for sure.
and
They
they
and
good dudes.
they
And
may or may not have stopped.
I mean, who knows, dude? Like,
Yeah.
but I've had some wild dreams. I know you probably have too. It's the dreams that you'll never forget. That's the ones that get me, man.
Oh yeah, I have a vivid one. I was actually talking to someone the other day about this, a young man. But I was telling him about my one of my dreams, and I said, one time I jumped clean over my house, but it's the house where mom lives now.
That's a good jump, dude. That's a
Yeah,
good.
exactly. So I was in the backyard. It was in a dream. I was dreaming, but in the dream I was in the backyard, but it was nighttime, and there's that little light there in the back.
Yeah.
It was on. It was on that night in real time. And in my dream, it was on. I was standing in the backyard and I was looking around and it felt real. And so I looked around and and so I just jumped and I jumped like clear over. I was way high. And I started to come down like where the sweet gum tree is in the front yard.
Yeah.
And like right before I got down to the ground, right as I got just like, ah, woke up. But it felt so real. It freaked me out for the rest of the night. I had to go check and make sure everybody was still okay. Like one of those weird dreams where you got to make sure everybody in the house is cool, everything's okay, no one died, everything's still real, and then you just sit there for like an hour or so, and you're just like,
Dude, you know what I think it is? It was that light. That light just brought you back to like it's like, oh, I know where I'm at, and like you, it was like a monument in a dream, I guess.
yeah,
Like,
that's what that was like when made the connection that made me like wake up in my
yeah,
dream.
right,
Like I
right.
fell asleep and woke up in a dream.
Exactly. You were lucid at that point,
Yes.
dude. Like, there's been people that can like apparently like the
Man, you gave me the chills when you said that. I'd never thought of it like it that way, that light, like you just
yeah,
said. But
yeah, man.
man, when you gave me chills, like that's my intuition telling me something right there. That's my higher self that I've
Well,
connected
it's
with.
probably telling you that I'm not lying. I'm not
Oh
being
yeah, yeah, I've learned to trust it. That's
yeah,
my intuitive side. You got two sides of the brain. You got an
yeah.
intellectual side and you got a intuitional side. Men don't like hearing about the intuitional side because that's the feminine side of the brain. But sorry, fellas,
Yeah.
if you want to have a higher intuition, that's the feminine side of the brain. You need to elevate that.
Balance. So like,
Balance is key.
there's people that do that they like they get really good at lucid dreaming basically, and I don't know, like there's not many people that can do that, but like they what they do to practice it is like when they from a dream like that, like you wouldn't go check on everybody. They'll write down in a journal exactly what happened because the crazy thing about a dream is no matter how vivid it is, like eventually you start to kind of lose parts of it, and like I guess a lot of times you like lose parts of it like over time. So like they'll write it down in a journal.
Yeah.
Like they'll basically log every single thing that happens in a dream, and eventually somehow like I guess they get better at lucid dreaming. They can like actually change things in their dream, and like it's really weird, dude. Like and like um I just remember watching a program about that when I was a kid, and how like most people that have claimed to be, like I guess psychics, clairvoyants and stuff like that, have been really crazy lucid dreamers. Like, and they did that practice of like logging their shit and like because when you're like in a dream, dude, like I don't mean to get all woo woo with it, but like
No, get woo woo about
I'm
it. That's what we do here.
deep, dude. I'm about to go deep because what happens is you just a DMT dump. It's like not
Yeah.
not as crazy as like when you're born or when you die, but it's probably like a good like because some dreams are crazy, dude. Some dreams are
Oh,
like ineffable, bro. Like just like like you can't explain that at all.
yeah. Well, I'll get deep with you since you want to get woo woo. Well, I'll tell you some of the things that I do,
Or
and this will let other people know some of the things that I do. Well, about months ago, I did a deep meditation thing where I attempted to like merge with my higher self. But what's odd is it worked, I think. I mean, I haven't had a dream since, which is odd.
damn,
I don't remember having a dream
Did you have dreams pretty consistently before that,
Not consistently before then because uh I think I had a lot of blockages because
though?
I didn't there was a lot of years I didn't have dreams. It seems as though I've been having to get rich shed things out of my life. Like there was a lot of like my diet had to change. And like when you talk about the DMT release, speaking of that, that's actually something I'm working on now, a
No,
natural DMT release. The whole sacred oil thing. That's why I'm eating very clean right now, like the new moon phase right now. So my sacred oil is at the bottom of my root chakra.
so that helps with just being able
Well,
to.
like I'm trying to bring it back up. And in order to bring it back up, you have to avoid sexual activity. You just have to eat clean. I've been practicing actually staying celibate for quite some time. I actually gave up all of adult entertainment stuff.
Nice.
Gave up the whole self pleasuring thing. You keep touching
Yeah,
that thing, you're gonna go blind. And I realized that it'll make you spiritually blind is what it'll do.
it will, man. Essentially it's your essence. The way I like to think about it, that might sound crazy as hell, but
Well,
like,
that's no, I agree with you 100%. I learned that. I had to learn that lesson, and I learned it because I had low testosterone. My body felt like crap. I struggled to make it through the day every day. I had no drive. I felt depressed.
yeah,
I mean, and it was because of all my diet, all the sugar and junk and stuff that I ate, all the processed, nasty garbage that I ate, pleasuring myself too much and just blowing that life force all over the floor as if it didn't matter. Well, not exactly on the floor, but you know what I mean.
yeah.
Wherever it went.
Wherever it went. You've been fasting because fasting kind of.
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't eat much during the day, and then like for the past past 2 days or so, this will be the third day. No flesh from a creature that died poorly. From my understanding, is what I tap into the Akashic records or the collective conscious. I meditate to do so.
When you said that, it was just like, oh, yeah, that just makes fucking sense, dude. Like logically speaking, in my brain, you don't want to eat an animal that just went through hell or just like was in one of those weird industrial farms or
Well,
some shit.
yeah, that energy will transfer directly over to you.
So like exactly, you are what you consume in a lot of ways. So like, and
Well, yeah, that's not just like something people don't just say that for no reason. You are what you eat.
I mean that's cliche as hell, but what you put in, you get out.
I'm telling you, the simple realities and simple truths to lives are so cliche. That's why most people miss the point.
Because yeah,
Because it's so simple.
but it's a test. It's a tenement, dude. It's a thing that's been set in its pat it's set in stone. It's like a commandment. It's a golden rule. Like be good unto others as you would like. It's like these things are just like it's like these basic understanding that so many people like it's just like it's beyond them. They don't understand
Yeah.
like clear over their head. It's like and like
Granted, I don't have much choice throughout different parts of the month, and I don't want to be a complete vegetarian. But for the past couple of days, I haven't had any like meat. I've had eggs.
yeah.
I've had eggs. That's about as far as it went. But other than that, it was
You
mushrooms, a lot of mushrooms, because I believe that the manna from the Bible is mycelium. If people want my opinions.
all right. I like that theory. I've never really thought about it that way. I've never
Well,
thought
I was actually telling Christine earlier that I believe that, mycelium is like the second brain of the earth. It is a fungi that is a second brain because it's everywhere. Why do fairy rings pop up out of nowhere? For what reason? Why? Where did that come from? Who put that there? No one planted nothing there. A bird didn't scat there. There's some mycelium there. It
that
grows, it's embedded in the earth. There's mycelium everywhere. It is
it
the neurosystem of the earth.
communicates with itself, and it's
Why
a
do you think when if you consume some like maybe psilocybin?
it's a being, dude. Do you think it's a being?
Oh
Like
yes, yeah. The earth is sentient.
I'm,
Everything is
I'm,
sentient. All plants, this entire earth is
I'm
sentient.
psyllium, like all that shit that connects underground and makes the fruit of mushrooms in this weird way. We know it communicates with itself, and we know that like when you take certain things, you can in my case, ask it questions and or ask what you want out of it. Like, what are you trying to get out of this? And you will.
Because it's a direct connection to them. If you want to know where the Akashic records is, it's the Earth has it. It's in the mycelium. The Earth also, but it isn't just in the mycelium, because that is the brain of the Earth. But it isn't just in the mycelium; it also broadcasts it.
I like what you just said. Mycelium is the brain of the earth.
It is, but it also broadcasts the frequency.
Yeah,
You remember what Nikola Tesla said? If you want to better understand the universe, think in terms of frequencies and vibrations.
the vibrations, man. Frequencies and
You
vibrations.
can vibrate. You can vibrate your ohm vibrations are what help me. I do vibrations where it's the oh, and then you hold it. And when you do that, you start with the you can feel that vibration in your chest,
Yeah, yeah.
and it'll rise slowly up up through and then when you get to the you can get a vibration. You'll feel it on the top of your head.
Right on, brother.
And
Right on.
so, well, that's why there's Tibetan monks in the Himalayan mountains that have been doing that Om chanting for quite a while now.
Oh, freaking oh wow.
They don't do it for no reason.